Today we'll find out what's really hidden under the ice of Antarctica and why it changes everything. From the air, Antarctica looks like nothing. Pure white in every direction. No trees, no roads, no signs of life. Just an endless, silent sheet of ice stretching out to the horizon. Most people look at it and see emptiness. But that emptiness is hiding something that scientists spent decades trying to reach. And when they finally broke through, what they found rewrote our understanding of life itself. This is the story of what's really underneath Antarctica. And it starts with a group of Soviet scientists, a drill, and nearly 3 decades of obsession. In 1970, a Soviet research team set up camp on one of the most inhospitable pieces of land on Earth, a remote outpost in East Antarctica called Vostok Station. The average temperature there hovers around -67 degrees Fahrenheit. It is, by every measure, one of the harshest environments a human being can survive in. And yet, these scientists began drilling straight down into the ice beneath them, and they kept going for 28 years. By the time they stopped, their drill had cut through nearly 4,000 meters of ice. That is almost 2.5 miles straight down. And what made them stop was not exhaustion. It was not equipment failure. They stopped because the ice around their drill suddenly changed. It became clear, crystal clear, almost like glass. There were no air bubbles, no dust particles. The texture was completely different from anything above it. They had hit something they hadn't fully expected to find: liquid water. Sealed beneath 2.5 miles of Antarctic ice, completely isolated from the rest of the planet, was a lake. A real liquid lake, one that had been locked away from sunlight, from weather, from every living thing on the surface of Earth for an estimated 15 million years. They named it Lake Vostok. And the moment they realized what they were looking at, the scientific community stopped in its tracks. Before you can understand how extraordinary Lake Vostok is, you have to understand what Antarctica's ice actually is, because it is far more than frozen water. Antarctica holds about 70% of Earth's entire freshwater supply locked inside its ice sheet. At its thickest point, that ice reaches nearly 3 miles deep. To put that in perspective, if you took the world's tallest building and stacked 6 of them on top of each other, they still wouldn't reach the top. The ice is so thick, so heavy, that it has actually pushed the land beneath it below sea level in some places. But the most remarkable thing about Antarctic ice is not its size. It is what it contains. As snow falls and accumulates over centuries, the layers beneath get compressed. Air gets trapped in those layers. Dust gets sealed in. Chemical compounds from the atmosphere at the time get locked inside microscopic bubbles. What this means is that every layer of Antarctic ice is a time capsule, a direct, physical sample of what Earth's atmosphere looked like at a specific moment in history. When scientists drill an ice core and hold it up to light, they can see it. There are visible lines running through the ice winter layers, look different from summer layers, just like tree rings. You can count them. You can identify specific events. Volcanic eruptions appear as dark ash lines, some of them from eruptions that happened over 20,000 years ago. You can actually see the moment in history when human industrial activity began changing the composition of the atmosphere. Scientists in Europe recently retrieved an ice core that goes back 1.3 million years, the longest continuous climate record ever pulled from the planet. It has not even been fully analyzed yet. When it is, it will tell us things about Earth's ancient climate that no other method can. The ice is not just frozen water, it is Earth's memory. But back to the lake. The discovery of Lake Vostok immediately raised a question that nobody could stop thinking about. If there is liquid water down there, water that has been sealed off for 15 million years, could there be life in it? The physics of how the lake stays liquid is itself remarkable. Two forces are working together. First, the ice above acts like an enormous insulating blanket, trapping geothermal heat rising from Earth's core. Second, the sheer weight of nearly 2.5 miles of ice creates enormous pressure, roughly 350 times the pressure you feel at sea level. Under that kind of pressure, water can remain liquid at temperatures well below freezing. The result is a stable, permanent lake sitting in complete darkness, completely cut off from the surface world, for 15 million years. Now here is the thing about 15 million years of isolation. Evolution does not stop. Life does not pause. If anything living entered that lake before the ice sealed over it, which scientists believe happened during a warmer period in Earth's ancient past, it would have had 15 million years to adapt, to evolve, to become something entirely its own, separated from every other living thing on the planet. When researchers finally extracted a water sample from Lake Vostok in the early 2000s, what they found confirmed their deepest suspicions. There was life in there. Not just traces of life, a full, functioning microbial ecosystem. Colonies of bacteria. Tiny organisms thriving in complete darkness, without a single photon of sunlight, under crushing pressure, in near freezing water. An entire world that had been running completely independently of ours. And Lake Vostok was just the beginning. Once scientists knew what to look for, they began scanning the rest of Antarctica with ice-penetrating radar instruments, mounted on aircraft that can see through miles of ice by reading how radar waves bounce back from different surfaces. What they found was staggering. Antarctica is not a flat, featureless continent buried under ice. Beneath the surface lies an ancient, complex world that looks nothing like what you see from above. There is a canyon system that runs deeper than the Grand Canyon. There is an entire mountain range, completely hidden, that rivals the European Alps in scale. There is evidence of a massive ancient impact crater, and there is what scientists now believe is the largest volcanic region on Earth, buried entirely under ice in West Antarctica. None of this was visible. All of it was there. And the subglacial lakes, the hidden lakes sealed under the ice number in the hundreds. Scientists have now identified more than 400 of them, scattered beneath Antarctica. Lake Vostok is the largest, similar in surface area to Lake Ontario. But there are others, each one sealed, each one isolated, each one a potential world unto itself. In 2018, scientists drilled into a second subglacial lake, this one in West Antarctica, called Mercer Subglacial Lake, and extracted both water samples and sediment from the lake floor. What they found in that sediment was extraordinary. Evidence of life, including types of microorganisms genuinely unlike anything previously cataloged. New varieties of bacterial viruses, organisms that had evolved in complete isolation and developed biological strategies that science had never seen before. These are not dangerous to humans. Bacterial viruses target bacteria, not us. But their existence tells us something profound. Isolation, over deep enough time, produces genuinely new life. Life that found solutions to survival that evolution elsewhere on Earth never needed to discover. Here is where the story gets even larger. Because what scientists are learning beneath Antarctica is not just about Antarctica. The technology developed to drill through miles of ice without contaminating what's below without introducing surface microbes into an isolated ecosystem, and without triggering dangerous pressure releases, is extraordinarily precise engineering. And the reason some of the world's leading space agencies are paying close attention to this research is that this exact technology is what we would need to explore the icy moons of our solar system. Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, has a global ocean of liquid water sealed beneath a thick shell of ice. Scientists estimate that ocean has existed for billions of years, far longer than Lake Vostok's 15 million. Enceladus, a moon of Saturn, has been observed actively venting water vapor from beneath its icy surface into space. Both are now considered among the most promising candidates for extraterrestrial life in our solar system. The parallel is direct. If life can survive in Lake Vostok, sealed in darkness, under crushing pressure, without sunlight, for 15 million years, then the conditions on Europa and Enceladus are not disqualifying. They are comparable. Every microorganism found alive under Antarctica's ice strengthens the scientific case that liquid water, wherever it exists in the universe, is sufficient to support life. And that case is getting stronger with every core sample drilled, every lake sampled, every new organism cataloged. Finding life in one of the most extreme and alien environments on our own planet does not just expand what we know about Earth. It expands what we consider possible everywhere. There is still so much of this story that remains untold because most of it remains untouched. Of the 400-plus subglacial lakes identified beneath Antarctica, only a handful have ever been sampled. The rest remain sealed, undisturbed, exactly as they have been for millions of years. Each one is a closed experiment that nature has been running without us. Each one potentially contains organisms that have followed their own evolutionary path life that looks like nothing we have ever classified, shaped by pressures and darkness and isolation that most of the biosphere never experiences. Scientists move carefully here, deliberately, slowly. The protocols for drilling into a subglacial lake are extraordinarily strict, every instrument sterilized, every precaution taken not just to protect the science, but to protect the lakes themselves. These ecosystems took millions of years to develop. Contaminating one would be irreversible, and the ice cores being extracted from Antarctica's surface continue to extend our record of Earth's past further and further back. The 1.3 million year core sitting in a European laboratory right now represents the deepest look into Earth's climate history ever achieved. When it is fully analyzed, it will fill in gaps in our understanding of ancient ice ages, atmospheric cycles, and climate shifts that shaped the world long before humans existed. Antarctica is not empty. It never was. Below the silence, below the white, below 2.5 miles of compressed time, there are lakes that have been alive for longer than our species has existed. There are mountains no human eye has ever seen. There are organisms that evolved in complete isolation and carry biological information we have not yet read. And somewhere out in the solar system, on moons circling planets far from the sun, there may be oceans just like this. Cold, dark, pressurized, and waiting. The question science is now asking is no longer whether life can survive in places like this. The question is how much of the universe we have been underestimating, and what else is down there, sealed away, alive, in the dark. For more amazing facts and real stories, make sure to subscribe to the channel and stay with us. Thank you for watching the video till the end.